All right, tell us who you are and what your major is.
I'm Tiffany Shaver, and I'm an elementary education major.
All right. Now that you've experienced the homeless challenge, what image comes to mind when you hear homeless person?
Compassion. They are probably some of the most compassionate people that you'll ever meet in your life. Just for an example, we were in the McPherson Park eating our lunch, and we were giving 2 trays, and the van was packing up to leave, and a homeless guy ran up, and they told him that they were out of food, and he just looked really sad, and this other homeless guy had stocked up on like 5 or 6 plates, and he waved his hand over, and he's like, "Come over here, brother, you can share our food," and they didn't even know each other. So like they have nothing, but yet they just help each other out because they understand where each other's coming from. So I would say compassion.
How is that different than the answer that you gave before the trip?
I think the answer before the trip, I said that they were like scary and maybe like lazy. They're not lazy. I probably walked more this weekend than I have in my entire life, and they're not scary. So yeah, that's the difference.
Well, what was the scariest part of your trip?
Okay. Well, there was a group of 5 of us that were hung out the entire time, and we were talking to these 2 homeless guys, and both of their names were Ray, so we named them Ray. And we were talking, and one rapper Ray, he pulls over his suitcase, and he's like, "I want to show you how we defend ourselves," and he pulls out like these big metal scissors, like we think they were incarceration scissors, and he starts like pointing them at us and saying, this is how we keep, and like how he defends himself. And I feared for my life for probably about 5 seconds, but other than that, it wasn't too scary.
What was the most rewarding part of the trip?
Oh, all of it was rewarding. Getting to know the guides, especially Frank and Andre and Anthony, those are the 3 that we got to know very well. And just hearing their stories and hearing the stories of the homeless people and how, just hearing their their troubles and what they go through, and just having a better understanding of where they're coming from and who they are. So probably the entire trip was rewarding.
What was the biggest lesson you learned from the trip?
That homelessness shouldn't exist, because everywhere we went, they were building new buildings. There was a Starbucks on every corner, which I'm very appreciative of the Starbucks, but like the fact that homelessness shouldn't exist, because you don't need 20 of the same buildings that serve the exact same food. There's so many empty lots and so many empty buildings. So the biggest lesson I learned is that homelessness can be non-existent if America will just swallow their selfishness.
What can you do to help end the homeless problem?
That's a good question, because me and Christina have been texting each other since we got back saying we need to do this and we need to do this. So already we have an idea that we're going to talk to our friends and family and just get a bunch of clothes and socks and whatever donated and take them to the homeless shelter in Lewisburg. We've talked about maybe starting an organization next semester just geared towards homelessness. We've even thought about doing the week-long challenge if Jesse will sign us up for it. Just letting you know. And just being aware, educating yourself, and that's a bunch of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that can be done.
So what would you say to someone who hasn't participated in the challenge? Would you recommend they do it?
Yeah, I would, because I think every person should do it, because it throws away your preconceived ideas of what homeless people are. There's just the stereotype that they're lazy and drunks and alcoholics and druggies, and that's maybe some of them are alcoholics and druggies, but the majority of the people that we met were not. They just were in bad circumstances, and life threw them a bad deal, and so that's why they're homeless. So I would recommend it, just so people can just see what it really is about.
Okay, you got anything else to say?
No, I'm good.
All right.